Legend tales of a place where the booze flows freely and the stories are always entertaining. If you are bold enough to seek out such a place, head 13 miles down the Tuscan Highway to a tiny blues joint known as the Townsmith Tavern. Once there, enjoy the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and Bowl.
Excuse me, you can't say that. You're gonna lose your family-friendly rating. You're gonna corrupt the kids.
BS! A podcast that invites you to grab a cold beverage, pull up a seat, and enjoy time with friends. And here are your hosts, Howard Blues and the Mark Kidder.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that has yet to be future endeavored by the WWE. I forgot my line for just a second there. I'm your host, Howard Blues, here as always with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Great, because that's over with. I thought you were pulling a Pat McAfee for a minute there. Because you kind of went on that, like, they're doing what?
Yeah.
We never found out what Pat McAfee wanted to say.
No, I had the idea for the future endeavored line, like, at the beginning, and so, like, I've been, like, in my head over and over again, like, okay, remember, future endeavor, of course, as soon as...
It was right there.
It was gone. I lost the words future endeavored. I'm like,
Sure.
I knew exactly where we were going with this, but
That's
like,
understandable.
what are the words? What are the exact words? This doesn't work if I don't have them.
You didn't have a coat to have on when you came 3 steps out of the entrance ramp to then slowly take off.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to this special edition, the Royal Rumble 2022 analysis?
Yeah.
Reaction? What other keywords on YouTube can we get to get our show more popular? Oh, by the way, speaking of that, share, like, and subscribe if you would, please. It's absolutely free, and it helps our show get even bigger and better. Bigger for sure, better, we're working on it. And a few of these will definitely help. And that's what we do here on Beer, Blues, and BS. The first thing on every show is what's on tap. So, our tap tonight is, I don't want to say generic, basic maybe, but it is a Budweiser Select. So, we're getting classy here on the show. Cheers, Brother Howard.
Cheers, and mostly because it was what Kidder had the most of in his fridge.
Yeah. All right, so here we are. Oh, yeah. That helps soothe the vocal cords, vocal lubrication to get us through this Royal Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. My co-host has been replaced by Justin Roberts.
North Carolina. That's enough of that. I'm done with it. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So there was a kickoff show, but no kickoff match. So,
And they could have put one on there because it would have helped with the time on this show.
Yeah. Because it officially ended at 11 o'clock Central Time. So us doing this is even later. Yes, later than what we would like it to be. But you know what? It's more time that we get to hang out together. So damn it, that's a win in my book.
Yeah.
Who won, who lost? We're getting there. We just need a few more drinks. All right. The first match of the night, which we thought was kind of interesting that it was the first match. Seth Rollins, because you have to legally say in the middle of Seth Rollins now. Otherwise, I'm sure WWE and or Vince McMahon will come to your house, find you, and then take your money. Roman Reigns, the champion, the Universal Champion. This started out the show. And a nice fact that we started the last time is talking about the match times and whatnot. With this one, not that long of a match. So not too bad, just because with the, the 6 matches that we had, and 2 of them being Rumble matches, I mean, that's 2 hours by itself, and another, 4 matches only being an hour. We'll see. So kind of good that the match wasn't a half-hour pay-per-view match. So with this one, I believe all of us chose Roman Reigns to win.
No.
We had a dissension.
Yeah. Your wife actually chose Rollins.
Okay. So now it's pretty clear cut that Roman Reigns would not lose the title. So here comes that with our prediction, right? So we pick Roman Reigns to win because obviously he's the champion. He's going to continue because they made a big deal out of him being champion for 520 whatever days and onward till at least WrestleMania, I'm sure. So the interesting point right away, Roman Reigns comes out first. And my reaction, oh, they're doing this right away. And then, wait, Roman Reigns is coming out first. Okay. The nice swerve here, in my opinion, was Seth Rollins getting into Roman Reigns' head. The Shield music plays, and Seth comes down through the arena wearing the Shield uniform, if you will. His gear from the Shield days. I liked that. That was a nice little start to the match. And then the match started, and they beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, this was actually a very good match. Running 14 minutes, 25 seconds, and excellent storytelling throughout. I will actually say this is, to me, the best match of the night. Mm-hmm. And it was the leadoff. So it went well. I thought it was overall.
It was smooth. It seemed that it had a nice flow, and as you said, it told a good story between the two. I mean, they're lucky enough to have those years of buildup of the story to help easily give a backstory. Mm-hmm. But as we discussed afterward, this match doesn't have to happen again on Monday Night Raw. It doesn't have to happen at if they have, Elimination Chamber. It doesn't have to happen there. It can happen 6 months from now. It can happen at WrestleMania, after WrestleMania. It can happen SummerSlam and beyond.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure there will be a rematch. I'm just hoping that they save it and they don't just burn it. Because I think we know where they're going for Mania. It'd be kind of a shame if they just quick fired it and such, because they could save it for
right. And we'll get to where they're going with Mania. So just to give you the conclusion of this match, there was a disqualification. So turns out Roman Reigns gets the DQ. And Seth Rollins gets the official win, but Roman Reigns is still your Universal Champion.
Yep. Reigns had Rollins in a submission hold and did not break the hold. And Count of 5 went through, and brought him on the DQ.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, Rollins is dead. No, he was still able to get up and walk away after they took the camera off him. So,
except there was also then the beatdown afterwards as Reigns went, got a chair, and proceeded to give Seth a couple of chair shots on the way out.
Mm-hmm. The returning of the favor of all the chair shot heard around the world years ago.
Yeah.
So there is the first match of the Royal Rumble 2022. Take a quick second here to mention you should visit us at beerbluesbs.com because we have the merch store on our website, beerbluesbs.com. And on the merch store, while you're watching these live premium events, you can wear your premium t-shirt right now. Yes, you can order it now and then order and watch it and wear it while you're watching. You can do all kinds of things at beerbluesbs.com. Click on the merch store and check out the fun stuff that we have there. So next match on the agenda is the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. And this, of course, is for a women's championship match at WrestleMania 38. This match, kind of new. This is with both of the Royal Rumble matches. I'm just going to say it right now. Absolutely despise WWE releasing so many details on how many people are going to be in it. Obviously, we know 30 people are going to be in there, but they told, I want to say 20 plus women and maybe 25 men for the respective Royal Rumble matches. So there's no real surprise. There's, a couple of the, whoa, look at that. And even with Mickie James coming out, it was still kind of a shock. Like, well, she's actually here. And she has the Impact Knockouts Championship with her. Because that was a big thing I know she wanted to have, because she is that champion and coming back to show that off. But again, don't disclose that the Bellas, both of them, are going to be in the match. And Summer Rae and,
Lita.
Yeah, Lita was a real big one too. But, I mean, most of them, even half of the people who are on the roster on the regular basis, like, that most of them are going to be on the card for the match, right? So it's like, why do you need to keep promoting that? We have all these people. Just say it's the 30-person, man or woman, Royal Rumble match. That's what I think you enjoy, and what I enjoy is the surprise of, oh, here's the next person. Who is it going to be?
And there's nothing wrong with promoting some. You can put a couple big names out there, and that would be okay. But when you then look at it, because one of the things that we do with our predictions is we always put down surprise entrant. And it was really hard this time because you kind of knew who everybody was, and it kind of then left what was left. Like one of the surprise entrants, I think it's okay for us to say, Ronda Rousey came back. But here's the thing, and I almost had to disqualify her because 3 out of the 4 of us chose Ronda Rousey as
the surprise entrant and the person to win it. So now because I wanted to be different and went down that difficult path of who else could be joining this match, right? So that's the big question. So instead of the default, like, I get a point because I chose Ronda Rousey to win it, so then obviously Ronda Rousey has to be in the match. So if she shows up, then I would get that point, and then if she won, I would get that point. That's why I chose Trish Stratus, a sure bet that she would be in it, and a good surprise, a good shock value, especially with Lita being announced that she was in the match, having all those matches from 10 and 20 years ago, wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I very, very much am not a fan of, here's 25 of the 30 people who are in this match. No. Stop doing that crap. Even with all the speculation of, oh, so-and-so is in St. Louis, because that's where it was this year, it's St. Louis. And then so-and-so is there too. And, oh, there's the rumors that so-and-so will be there. And, of course, the worst kept secret this year is that Ronda Rousey was coming back and was going to be, or was in St. Louis. And then, of course, would win the thing, right? So, I don't know.
See that, and it's funny you say that. I actually have kind of been avoiding a lot of that news because I was already upset that we had as much as we already had. So I didn't was thinking about it earlier today when I was putting together the card. I'm like, what's a long shot? Rousey could come back. And so that was my pick, and that I had. Mm-hmm. And then when Jerome chose it and your wife chose it, I'm like, I think some people know some stuff that I don't, but I think I'm in the okay.
Yeah, it was a good guess. With the overall sentiment again. Yeah, I get that they do a lot of stuff the day before testing to make sure that the graphics work and the video works, and people still remember how to come out of the entrance area and walk down the ramp and not pull a Mandy Sachs and fall down, or a Titus O'Neil and slide underneath the ring and then disappear. So some of the secrets are pretty hard because the graphics team has to know everybody.
Right.
So I understand that there's a lot of secrets that aren't really kept that well, but you can still do what you can to not give 20 people give that shock out, maybe 5 or at the most 10. Those big ones like Charlotte Flair, that was a swerve because she's a champion. So her entering the Royal Rumble, that gives a legitimate chance of her winning because of how good she is, and then going on to WrestleMania and facing the Raw Women's Champion, right? Because then she could be Charlotte 2 belts or whatever they would want to do.
Right. You can put those big names in there. You could put Charlotte, Belair, Ripley easily, and people love the Rumble. People are always going to tune in for the Rumble. You don't have to overly promote the Rumble. And let's talk about the women's match in this case. I think we've hammered it home. The surprises were lacking. It wasn't a bad Rumble match. I think there were some missteps with it. I think that you had some of the feuds that they tried to pick up on and use were so old that Summer Rae's got heat with Natalya. I didn't know that. Or I didn't remember that.
Right. That one specifically, they tried to bring back from Total Divas from 5+ years ago, and they referenced it 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. So it's like, here's a 30-second, I still hate you. And we shared a couple tweets back and forth. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. So you had some of those. One of the bigger missteps was the whole Naomi and Sonya Deville thing. Sonya Deville came out. She was number 11, and the thought was, I'm going to keep my jacket on, so I'm an official and not a contestant. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to take out Naomi when Naomi comes. Okay, that's fine. Well, one of the surprises, number 13, was Cameron, who was Naomi's partner as part of the Funkadactyls.
Funky's on a roll. Yeah, Funky's somebody call my mama. Great surprise there.
Yeah.
One of the few surprises.
Right. So Cameron comes in, and then one of the announcers mentions, I think it was Corey Graves, to Sonya that Cameron was Naomi's partner. So Sonya then takes off the jacket, gets in, and
I better get in there now.
And eliminates Cameron right before the 14th entrant, who was Naomi. And so it just kind of ruined where you could have had this reunion,
Couldn't even just wait a minute. Like, let them get in the ring together.
Right.
You're killing me.
And then you immediately had Naomi basically eliminate Sonya like that. And it
killed the momentum of the match for me.
It really, really did, because it was sloppy storytelling in that case. And so, because what I would have done is probably had Sonya come out first, wait, have Naomi come out, have Sonya get involved, have Cameron come out to save her partner, have that kind of reunion moment, and people would pop for that. Yeah.
And I'd say there's a pretty good pop for her when she came out to begin with, Cameron.
Right.
The big surprise that she's, was there, because it's been, 6-7 years since about when she was there. So
Yeah. So, needless to say, the surprises were kind of meh. There were some good stories told throughout, but not great, and a lot of trying to rehash old things that nobody
Mhm.
really remembered.
Mhm.
So, overall, it was an okay match.
It was there. Number 2 entrant, Melina. Big surprise there. Melina wasn't advertised to be here. So I was like, it's Melina. And they gave her entrance. And Sasha Banks eliminates her pretty much 20 seconds after the match started.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer than that.
Maybe 40. It's really hard because we proved that WWE sucks at timekeeping as well. And not specifically start to finish time or setting the records time, but when it's 90 seconds between entrance in the Royal Rumble and you have your clock going, your stopwatch going, and it's 120 seconds and the next person comes out, and then it's 64 seconds when the next person comes out, and it's all over the place. It's not a minute and a half for each entrant. It kind of kills it a little bit too.
Yeah. So,
Other ones to note, let's see. Just as we look at the list, Kelly was announced to be here for the match, so not a surprise. I think even Michelle McCool was mentioned that she was going to be in there, so not a surprise. And everybody thought Undertaker would be in this because he was spotted backstage and he was spotted in St. Louis. Well, of course he's there because he's married to Michelle McCool, and he said that he's done. He's not going to wrestle anymore. And I know that he's done. So there's that. Cameron was a big surprise because we didn't know that she would show up. Advertised to be there, Mickie James. Alicia Fox was a surprise. I don't believe she was on any of the pre-promotion for it, so there was a somewhat of a surprise there. Summer Rae was announced that she would be there, which again would have been a decent surprise. And her run in the match was very short, which was also kind of dumb, in my opinion. Sarah Logan was one of the other surprises, not advertised, which was nice. Lita was advertised. Molly Holly was not advertised, so that was a surprise. And then the big surprise, Ronda Rousey entering there. And I guess Shotzi, I think, was on the promotion. Most of the people were on the promotion to be in this. So
right. Ivory would be the other surprise.
Yes.
Coming out in the
right to censor
gimmick. Yeah.
I just love that gimmick.
But as we have stated a couple times, I think Ronda Rousey ends up winning it, eliminating Charlotte Flair in a really weak.
It was pretty weak.
It was right up there with the Edge Orton debacle from last Rumble.
Yeah.
So it was a really weak one. Time of the match, 59 minutes, 40 seconds. And it'll be Ronda Rousey going to WrestleMania. Which brings us to our third match of the night, which was kind of surprising. It's rare the WWE goes back-to-back women's matches.
Yes.
But this was our Raw women's title, Becky Lynch, the champion, defending against Doudrop.
I was not looking forward to this match at all. I haven't really liked Doudrop since she showed up, partially because I didn't like Eva Marie. And then the fact that they paired her with Doudrop and whatever they're trying to do with her to make her into some kind of monstrous force of a wrestler or whatever to replace Nia Jax. I don't know. I just don't like her wrestling style, and I did not like this match at all. It seemed very sloppy to me. And I mean, you have Becky Lynch, who has to be 120 pounds or less. And then you have Doudrop, who's however many pounds, right? I'm not going to speculate on her weight. I don't want to be rude about it. But you have a tiny person trying to take on a big person and just trying to do these moves, and it doesn't really work. And you can't even play off of it to some extent because it just looks like a botch.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. Because we've seen that before. You can have a smaller wrestler,
Right.
and usually a smaller wrestler versus a big wrestler is a great match because that bigger wrestler is a base for you to do all sorts of spots off of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't see that in this, and really not much to a feud even. In fact, I'd say let's not waste any more time on this.
I think the biggest thing that happened during this match was that the WrestleMania sign caught on fire from the pyro at the end of the Women's Royal Rumble match. So people were more invested in the WrestleMania sign being on fire than they were in watching this match.
Yeah.
Point at the sign.
Dude! The sign's on fire!
It's on fire. It's on fire. It's on fire.
It's on fire!
So, anyway,
At an even 13 minutes of your life that you won't get back, Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's Championship.
and it was about 10 minutes too long.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think we said, Kidder, in the Women's Royal Rumble, but your pick to win it was Liv Morgan.
My pick?
Mhm.
That was the wife's. Was it? You took a picture?
I took a picture.
I thought that I chose Ronda Rousey to win.
You did have Rousey. Never mind. Oh, it was Jerome who was the other Liv Morgan pick.
Yeah.
So the wife and
Yeah.
This is why I took a photo.
I was confused.
It's okay. I knew two people had taken Liv Morgan. I knew two people had taken Rousey.
We got Rousey. All right. That's right. That's why you stick with the good brothers here on the Beer Blues BS show, because we know wrestling.
Yep. And we both had Becky Lynch. So in fact, everybody chose Becky Lynch. So
I think this was a general, hey, this match is a filler and it's just going to be a means to an end to have the Raw Women's Championship featured on the Royal Rumble. So that was done.
fourth match of the night brings us to Bobby Lashley challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship.
Mhm. And I predicted that this would be the DraftKings screwy finish of the night.
And I would say you have that correct. This was the DraftKings screwy finish of the night.
This turned out to be, decent start of a match. They, of course, Lesnar and Lashley were exchanging some of the big power moves with the suplexes. And in this match, just this match, Lesnar had 8 of the German suplexes.
Which we also, as our bonus question, we do try and guess how many suplexes there will be. Kidder had 5, I had 6. We both failed on that one.
Went too low. I was going to go with my normal 13, but figured that Lashley wouldn't let Lesnar do that. But I should have, and we'll tell you why later. As we continue through this match, yes, there was the screwy finish because the official gets jammed into the corner and half knocked out, and he's half standing going like this. And I think it was Corey Graves. Oh, the official's knocked out. He's standing. He's not what? Like, you just telegraphed the finish of this match, which we were already suspecting anyway. So then Lesnar picks up Lashley to do the F5, swings him around, and the feet. There goes the official. He's down, laying in front of the commentary booth, and he's dead. Of course, Lesnar pinning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he's looking, and of course, he didn't win because the ref is toast on the ground. And then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes on in, blasts Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar is down. And Lesnar is laying, like I said, he's laying there on the ground. And Roman Reigns in the corner, looking, turns around to Paul Heyman and gives him the look. And Paul Heyman hands over the WWE Championship. And then what happens? I didn't see this coming from a mile away. A mile away. 2 miles away. Lesnar gets up just enough, starts coming toward Reigns. Reigns smashes the WWE title across Lesnar's face, and then Lashley wakes up, and suddenly there's an official in the ring, and there's the 1, 2, 3. And as I predicted, Bobby Lashley becomes your new WWE heavyweight champion of the world. And yes, interesting thing, because Paul Heyman leaves the ring with Roman Reigns. What? Yeah, saw that. Something with Paul Heyman with this match, and potentially the first match, there would be something. And yes, something happened. So there is your DraftKings screwy finish of the night at the Royal Rumble 2022. That match, 10 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah. And I had Lesnar to win, as did everybody else. So no points for us.
Well, for you.
Yes. So that's us as in everybody else.
Everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
This brings.
I went out on a limb with that one.
Yes, but it plays into some of your later picks.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the 5th match of the night, our intergender tag team match between Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice.
By this point, it was about 9:45.
Yeah.
So we knew this match wouldn't be that long. And by the way that some of the wrestling went, it went 10 minutes too long. So the match was 12 and a half minutes long. Mixed tag match, which of course WWE's intergender match rules is if somebody tags in, everybody, however many teams are there, have to switch immediately as well. Because, you know, you don't want someone like Beth Phoenix beating up a weasel like The Miz, which we kind of got to see anyway.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. So there were a couple nice spots in it. There were some bad spots as well. And I don't know if it's just ring rust on, you know, Beth Phoenix and Maurice, more so Maurice's side. But this one, it was all right. I was kind of looking forward to this one, just to have Edge and Beth Phoenix wrestling together for the first time. I was really excited for that. See the domination happen, but they kind of downplayed it, and then there was the cheap brick shot, and how you saw the purse bounce off of out of the ring and fly like it was foam or something.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I don't know that we need to spend a lot of time on this. Everybody had picked Edge and Beth Phoenix to win, and they did. As I said, I don't know that there needs to be more on it. It was an okay match. This could have been on the kickoff.
Yes,
truthfully, you could have put this on the kickoff show. I understand Edge is a big name, and Beth Phoenix coming back. It's I can understand the prestige of it, and I understand that you want maybe a bit of breath and give some time for Lesnar because of what's going to happen. But you could have rearranged how some of this went.
Put the Lesnar Lashley match right after the Women's Rumble, and then have the Becky Lynch Doudrop match, and then go into the Men's Rumble, because that would have been an hour between that and what we're going to tell you in the next match. would have worked out just fine. I don't know. I like the end spot where they had the double finish, which in these matches, that's typically what happens, and I think it's what everybody wants to see.
Hey,
So
it
give the people what they want to see.
it would have been a great kickoff. Like for a
Yeah.
kickoff show match, it would have been fine.
Mhm.
It would have been fine. All right, match 6.
Okay.
The men's Royal Rumble.
Just to note, this match is actually shorter than the women's Rumble this year at 51 minutes and 10 seconds. The women's match, again, just as a quick reminder, 59 minutes, 40 seconds. So this one had a good start.
It did.
AJ Styles at number 1 this year. And number 2, who could it be? Oh, yes, it is Shinsuke Nakamura. Awesome to see these two fight again. And it doesn't really last long. Didn't last long enough for my taste.
Good start. And even when the people that they added in, like this one actually, like the pacing on it, at least with who was coming in, I thought they did well with.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Had a decent flow for the most part.
it did. I mean, this is the one where we were paying attention to the times on it, because it was like it became very clear very quickly. Like, some of these are going really fast with people coming out, and that was partially they were doing that because they knew some they were going to go longer on. I think the longest we had was 2 minutes and 10 seconds between entrance at one point.
I think that was Johnny Knoxville, wasn't it?
No, it was later.
Okay.
I forget who it was, but it was later.
I know that one was longer as well.
It was Bad Bunny.
Yes. So one of the surprise entrants, Bad Bunny. Again, a spoiler ruined earlier today because they're posting everywhere. Actually, a photo of Bad Bunny and Undertaker. They posted. So, sure. But knowing that he was in the Rumble last year and WrestleMania, he was probably going to be in this one again.
Yeah.
And I'll give him that he had some good spots that he actually did in this. Like Johnny Knoxville came in, got beat up, and then thrown out. So fine for a celebrity entrant.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny came in, did some decent moves, traded a few shots there, and then had a couple eliminations, and then was eventually eliminated himself. But
Yeah. Other than that, I think the only other real surprises is we had Shane McMahon make an appearance.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the big one at the end, number 30, Brock Lesnar entering. So those were kind of all we had for surprises. Overall, as I said, good flow to it. I want to say Ricochet had the bump of the night with Omos basically gave him a chop and he just dead. It was
he was like about right here because he got when the hand came down, he went from here to here and then straight board drop like he died and just that had to hurt.
Yeah.
The botch of the night was Kofi, which looking forward to seeing Kofi's moves all the time because I love watching him in the Rumble, and him not being there last year because of his injury was a missed opportunity and something that I missed last year. So like Kofi's here, he's going to do a big spot. And in fact, not 30 seconds before this happened, the commentators are, Kofi's always doing crazy things, and what's he going to do this year? He gets up onto the top of the ropes, and he's going to do some crazy move off the turnbuckle with Ricochet, I believe.
Well, he was going to do a move, and then Kevin Owens pushed him, and he jumped from there. And the goal was to try and catch himself on the barricade, but too much force, and he ended up being
both feet touched.
Yeah. And he tried to like save it and sell it, but it was there was no way they were ever going to be able to do a camera angle and show.
And even the one official who's down the sight line from the camera, I don't know if you caught that, but he was looking and he kind of did one of these and then he started walking out of the camera shot. So that because he started doing this, like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
And then the other official that was right next to him came up and said, "Hey, we saw that you touched the ground." And then Kofi was pissed. I mean,
Yeah.
rightfully so. But then they showed the replay, and you could, of course, in slow-mo, clearly see both feet hitting the ground.
Right. He should have, and this is one of those things, because the rule is both feet have to touch. If that's the case where you think you're going to short it, I would so try and put one foot down and hold the other one up,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do? I mean, it's a difficult thing. It's not like he gets to practice this all the time.
And he was flying from the top of the ropes. So you're already in the air, what, 10, 15 feet above the ground, and then you want to land it without hurting yourself.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he didn't hurt himself, although it looked like he did because of how his chest landed on that barricade, because he was holding it pretty hard and it looked like it hurt. So hopefully you're not injured, Kofi. Wish you the best. And 2023 is your year, man.
Yeah.
Make it happen. This one, the overall match, again, with the surprises we talked about, you know, there's pretty much 25 people that were announced for this match. So the surprises, very few. I mean, it wasn't 25. It was maybe 20, but you still get what I'm saying. So we didn't have that questionable who's next, what's going to happen, the real mystery of building it up, even between the people in the ring. There were, again, a few nice spots, like with RK Bro getting back together within the ring and RKOing people left and right. KO had a great showing in this,
Yeah.
kicking some people and doing his thing and fighting everybody. But there weren't the outside, like, legends coming in. It was just, yeah, hey, we got you, so you're in it now, and you're in it.
Yeah. It was a bit lacking in that.
Yeah.
To that end. So overall, it was all right. Not the best Royal Rumble, not the worst. But we haven't said it, but Brock Lesnar comes in.
Mm-hmm. 30.
And, yep, as number 30 and proceeds to throw everybody out, and he's going to Mania. And so we're getting more than likely our Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns WrestleMania
Mm-hmm.
match is what we're getting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that brings us through the Royal Rumble. Kidder was the only one who had Brock Lesnar winning. He also had Lesnar as the surprise entrant. So, I mean, if you're seeing the scoreboard up top, Kidder is winning 6-5. And if you're wondering, wait. Where's these extra points coming from?
Mhm.
We had a side bet that happened in the Women's Rumble. Sasha Banks came out in a Sailor Moon-esque outfit with these two kind of balls of hair with these weird eye things on it. And there was quickly a bet made about how long do you think those will last? And I ended up winning that with 10 minutes. So,
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes there.
yeah, well, I mean, technically she was eliminated at 9 minutes and 40 seconds, but in the 20 seconds it took her to walk up the ramp, you could see her pulling the other one out. So I'm taking that. I'm not going to claim that.
I mean, I will go with my 20 minutes because the ribbon was still in the match for another 10 minutes.
But that wasn't what it was. It was how long did she keep her hair in that sense. It wasn't how long did her hair stay in there.
It's true. And then with the suplexes, because we said we'd get to that later.
Mm.
In the first Lesnar match, again, there were 8 suplexes, which Jerome chose 8.
Yeah.
However, in the Rumble match, after Lesnar came in, there were another 4 suplexes, making the total 12. So nobody got a point.
Actually, no, your wife got a point.
Oh, that's
she had
right.
12.
She
so,
did. Yes. She got the mercy point out of that.
Yeah.
So overall, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't necessarily the best Royal Rumble that I've ever seen. In fact, the Royal Rumble that I was at 3 years ago, I think was better, in my opinion. But it's also being there versus watching it on the absolutely garbage Peacock app. Like, you're trying to watch it, and then all of a sudden, spinning wheel of death. No. Okay, you back out, and then it works, and then the resolution fades, and then it comes back, and then it fades and comes back. Like, it's 2022. Can we not, have a crappy service like this? I mean, we should be broadcasting this in 4K because I can watch stuff on Amazon Prime in 4K. I can watch stuff on HBO Max in 4K. I can watch high quality stuff on the Paramount Plus network without any streaming issues or quality issues. The Peacock app seems to be the only one that I have issues with when streaming live premium events. So I think that's kind of a sign. Yeah. I mean, it is better than paying $60 a pay-per-view because, they're live premium events now. So buy our shirt at beerbluesbs.com.
And on that terrible note, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while.
It's probably about time.
Yep. So if you want to give a few cheap plugs, go for it.
Hey, now's an opportunity. The best cheap plug is to go to beerbluesbs.com. That's our website, and it's our home in cyberspace, because on there, you got our links to everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, even Podbean, like everything right there. And of course, most importantly, the merch store, where you can get some quality threads and quality glasses to drink your tasty beverage out of while you're watching this here review. beerbluesbs.com for that. And of course, if you listen to podcasts on any of the major audio services like, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., just go to your search bar, type in Beer, Blues, and BS, and you'll see our show right there. If you would, click the subscribe button. That would be fantastic, because you can get our episodes delivered directly to you. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, where we have all of our actual videos hosted, well, click that subscribe button right on the bottom of the video there, please, and get our channel notifications every week. At least we have a video coming out with not only these wrestling reviews, but also our weekly episodic ventures into shenanigans and Howard's Cave of Wonder.
Occasionally.
There's a cheap plug for Howard's Cave of Wonder. And you can get those classy shirts at beerbluesbs.com. Click on merch. So, he's Howard Blues. I'm the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Kidder. Thank you for joining us for this special 2022, the 35th, I think, 88 to 22.
You're making
Maybe.
work for future hours.
34th or 35th Royal Rumble.
It's up there.
Thanks, Future Howard. Appreciate it. Royal Rumble is in the books. The next event, yes, wait for it. We're going overseas for the Elimination Chamber that looks awfully like the Hydra logo from the Marvel Universe. Just going to throw that out there. So we'll see you again for another episode of Beer Blues and BS and more wrestling talk down the road. So keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow. And yes, we will catch you on down the dusty Tuscan Highway. You have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year. See you on the next one.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty.